Hello, future engineers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're still new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to share my videos to your friends and to your friends' friends, to your younger brothers and sisters who would want to take up engineering in the future, and to your relatives. That's one way you can keep me going, inspired, and refreshed. Now, if you find my videos interesting and important to your studies, also please don't forget to subscribe. Another problem on moving loads. The live loads shown are to cross an end simply supported beam. Determine the absolute maximum moment expected for part A. L is 20 meters, P1 20 kilonewtons, P sub 2 equals P sub 3 80 kilonewtons. A is 4 meters, B is 9 meters. And in part B, P sub 2 is 75 kilonewtons, P sub 3 is 90 kilonewtons, A is 3 meters, 6B is 6 meters, and all other data remain unchanged. So here is the given figure. First, let us compute for the location of the resultant if all the loads are remaining on the span. So for part A is 4, B is 9, and P2 equals P380. So if all the loads are on the span, then 80 plus 80 plus 20 is 180. That's the resultant. So 180, call this E sub 2. That's the center line 1. Imagine center line 2 if we consider load 2 and the resultant later. So this is E sub 3 and this is E sub 2. So by Varignon's theorem on 80 E sub 3 equals 80 times 9 plus 20 times 13, where 13 is 9 plus 4. So E sub 3 is equal to 49 over 9 meters. So that means E sub 2 is 9 minus 49 over 9. So E sub 2 is 32 over 9. Since the heavier weights have equal magnitude and the resultant is closer to the center when the center load is considered, or the distance between the resultant and the center load of equal magnitude as load 3 is closer, or they are closer from the center line. Therefore, we expect that the absolute maximum moment occurs under 2. So there's no doubt about it because that's the principle when the resultant and the heavier load supposedly would be closer from the center line. Since load 2 is closer from the center line, we expect that the absolute maximum moment occurs under 2. So E sub, but before that, let's check if load 1 is off span or still on the beam when the maximum moment or absolute maximum moment occurs under load 3. So let's evaluate 9 minus E3 over 3, which is this distance here. Distance from center line 1 to 80, then plus 4. So 9 minus 1 half of E3, 1 half of 49 over 9 plus 4 is 11.278, which is greater than half the length of the beam, which is 10. Therefore, it means that the 20 kilonewton load will be off span. Load 1 will be off span if the absolute maximum moment occurs under load 3. So therefore, it fails. So it will not occur under load 3, the absolute maximum moment. It will surely occur under load 2. Even if load 1 is still on the span, the absolute maximum moment is still expected under load 2 because they have the same magnitude and the resultant is closer. The resultant and load 2, P2, are closer from the center line for that situation. So we now position these loads. So absolute maximum moment expected there. So this is P2, that's R left, R right, then the resultant, which is 180 kilonewtons because all the loads are on the span. Then we have the center line, the distance of the resultant, and load 2 would be half of E sub 2. So half of 32 over 9 is 16 over 9 as shown. Since the length of the beam is 20, half the length of the beam is 10, and therefore the distance of the resultant from the left support, which is also the distance of the of load 2 from the right support, is 10 minus 16 over 9, and that would be 74 over 9 meters. To compute for the absolute maximum moment under this load 2 here, we compute the result reaction at the right end of the support by considering the whole system. We sum up moments about the left, and let's just consider the resultant because that's the principle by Varignon's theorem. So RR, submission moment left, RR times 20 equals 180 times 74 over 9. So the reaction at the right support is 74 kilonewtons. Therefore, the absolute maximum moment is RR times 74 over 9, then minus 20 times 4. So imagine we cut this beam, and let's consider forces to the right. So RR times 74 over 9 minus 20 times 4. So M max absolute is 74 times 74 over 9 minus 20 times 4. So absolute maximum moment is equal to 5 to 8.4 kilonewton meter. Then or Mmax 1, so that's one possibility. Then if we consider only two loads, then this should be half of 4, so half of 9 rather, which is 4.5 meters, because only the two loads will remain on the span. By the way, 11.278 meters is greater than 10, so load 1 will be off span for that case when the maximum moment occurs under load 3. So therefore, this is half of 4.5, 2.5 meters each. There's no need to solve for that distance because the two loads on the beam are of equal magnitude, so the resultant would be in between them, 160 kilonewtons, 2 times 80, and the center line of the beam by principle would be half of 4.5, so 2.25 meters, 2.25 meters from load 3 and from the resultant. So therefore, this distance is 10 minus 2.25. 10 minus 2.25 is 7.75 meters. R is also 7.75 meters from the right. So let's solve for RL because the maximum moment is expected under load 3. So RL times 20 meters equals 160 times 7.75. So that means R sub L is equal to 62 kilonewtons. So the maximum moment under load 3, let's call that Mmax2, is simply RL times 7.75. So 62 times 7.75 is 480.5 kilonewton meters. So therefore, the absolute maximum moment is this case here. It occurs under load 2 as expected, and it is 5 to 8.4 kilonewton meter. Now for part B, P2 is 75, P3 is 90, so P1 remains 20, but this time A is 3, B is 6. Let's compute E sub 3 and E sub 2. Let's have here the resultant, which is 90 plus 75, 165 plus 20, 185 kilonewtons as shown. Let's call that E sub 3, this distance E sub 2. That's the center line. If absolute maximum moment occurs under load 3, This is the center line, center line of the beam, and this is the resultant and 75 kilonewton too. If the maximum moment occurs under load 3, we assume here that load 1 will be on the span, still on the span. Then by Vrignon's theorem, 185, so that's E sub 2, 185 times E sub 3 equals 75 times 6 plus 20 times 9. E sub 3 therefore is equal to 3.4054 meters. So half of that, so let's position that on the next slide, the load, this possibility here. Then E sub 2 is 6 minus 3.4054, so E sub 2 is 2.5946, not computed. It is just 6 minus E sub 3, 6 minus 3.4054. So 6 minus 1 half of E3, then plus 3 is equal to 7.2973 meters, less than half the length of the beam. So that means all loads, if the maximum moment occurs under load 3, all loads are on the beam. If the maximum moment occurs under load 2, all loads are also on the beam. So the resultant is 185. So all loads on the span or on the. Let us consider first that the maximum moment occurs under load 2 for this situation. So E is 2.5946. Half of that would be 1. So the resultant is 185. This is the center line 2. Half of 2.5946 is 1.2973 meters as shown. Since the span is 20 and half is 10, therefore the resultant and this load 2 here would be equidistant from either end of the beam, either support end, and that is 10 minus 1.2973, 8.7027 meters. To solve for the maximum moment under load 2, we consider the entire system summation moment about the left support equals 0. So that's the expected location of maximum moment. So RR times 20 equals 185 times 8.7027. So R sub R is equal to 80.50 kilonewtons. So the maximum moment here, one possibility is RR times 8.7027 minus 20 times 3. So Mx1 is 80.5 times 8.7027 minus 20 times 3. So our Mx1 is equal to 640.6 kilonewton meter. Then let's also evaluate the case where the maximum moment occurs under load 3, and we'll use E sub 3, which is 3.4054 meters. Then let's position the load. Half of that 3.4054 is the distance from the center line to load 3 and to this resultant of 185 kilonewton load. We already showed that load 1 is still on the beam. So this is 3 meters, remember. So 10, that's the E3 center line, and half of 3.4054 is 1.7027 meters. Therefore, this is 10 minus 1.7027, so 8.2973. The distance of the resultant from the right is also the same, 8.2973 meters. So maximum moment under load 3 is simply R left times 8.2973. To solve for R sub L, we sum up moment about right. So that's the center line. So RL times 20 equals 185 times 8.2973. So R sub L is equal to 76.75 kilonewtons. So Mmax2, possible maximum moment, is 76.75 times 8.2973. And that is equal to Mmax2 is 636.8 kilonewton meter, which is less than the maximum moment, possible maximum moment which occurs under load 2 for this part. Therefore, the absolute maximum moment occurs under load 2 and it is 640.6 kilonewton meter. So that's it for this video and for this problem. I hope that uh, your technique knowledge on determining the absolute maximum moment for three concentrated loads, live loads moving along the beam is enhanced, and for future problems you can solve problems or questions out of these moving loads.